G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. We are back once again with another casted game and boy oh boy am I excited today. Let me tell you why I'm excited for this game. We've got two of the world's best FFA players in this lobby. Now when it comes to the overall skill of this lobby, it's not that high. I'd say it's like a mid-range FFA lobby. You've mainly got like your plats, your diamonds, and then you've got two guys that are the kings of FFA. Currently rank number 2. In the yellow, playing as the Abbasid dynasty, it's Gandalf the White. And in the pink, playing as the Holy Roman Empire, we've got VNS Cool. VNS Cool is currently rank 3 on the ladder. Gandalf the White, currently rank 2 on the ladder. So you got to keep in mind that when it comes to FFA, a lot of it can be luck, but there is a huge amount of it that is skill. And there's a really good chance that these guys are going to make it all the way to the end and are going to battle it out like two absolute juggernauts. And I'm incredibly excited to be able to watch this game unfold, because knowing that these two players are in this lobby, I know that it's not just going to be one player that overwhelms the rest of the lobby. It's not going to be like those 35-minute games you see me play on the Chinese where I kill everybody with palace guards and type GG. No, it's going to be a little bit different. And we've already got a surrender coming through right here. It's going to be green that surrenders. I don't actually know where he is. Wasn't he over here? I feel like he was over here. A lot of kings happening over on this east side of the map. We've got purple. We've got orange. Look at this. 3 kings all next to each other. The town center's about to come up. I wonder if he's going to try for a king snipe. Let's take a look and see. No, he is. He's thinking about it. But purple's moving up towards this top position as well. Pink. Already, we've got VNS Cool that's now thrown down his dock as well. Wow, we've got ourselves a lot of action early on, and isn't it kind of wild how these games kind of tend to unfold? I don't know where green ended up, or what happened to green, or where he went, but isn't it interesting how the way players anchor, right? Like, we see them anchoring towards two things, right? The axes. Yeah, you see, we've got the northern axis right here, where we've got blue on the axis, red a little bit off it, and then still on that same kind of thing, we've got Gandalf the White, who we're going to be keeping an eye on, and then over on that axis, or the eastern position, we've got 3 players that are all over here. And then of course we've got Teal in the middle, who's just decided, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So I don't know what happened with green. Can we even see where green's... Okay, so green was down here. Did green just... There's the king. Maybe... I mean, we know that he's moved. I feel like he probably just... Did he just surrender? I don't know. I think, you know, Mum probably said, hey, it's time for dinner. And he's like, oh, all right, fine. He's just left. He's just left. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the game. So what are we going to be watching out for this game? Number 1, I'm going to be watching out for relics. Okay, a big component to playing the Holy Roman Empire is relics. Relics. How many relics are you going to get? So that's a big component of their civilization. So we've got 1, 2. Oh, did you guys see that fishing boat? It was doing the wigglies. 2 relics. We've got a scout under attack. 3 relics. 4 relics. 5 and 6. I only see 6 relics. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So not a lot of relics. That is a sad thing for the Holy Roman Empire, because they love relics. And on top of that, you've also got somebody who is just chilling in the middle of the map. Nobody else around them to really worry about. Blue. Oh, blue. Oh, that's scary. Oh, that's very scary. Villager here on the top side as well. Almost. Is he losing 2? Oh, he loses the Vill as well. Oh, geez. This is an action-packed game here. Khan also. Look at this. He's got 2 scouts under his town center. Not going to end up taking either of them. Jeez Louise, we have got ourselves... This is one of those games. This is one of those games, and I'm glad that we're here to cast it. So how do they find their way out of the hood? That's the big question for me. Now, one thing to note here is that when it comes to the best players in the lobby, they've been on water for a long time, right? Like, we're going to be mainly studying Gandalf here. We're mainly going to be studying VNS Cool on the south, and I've missed it. Teal picks up a kill. Oh, it's down here. It's okay. He spotted the king of green, and then he's killed the king of green. I thought it was up here. I was like, oh, no. Red's fed his king to Teal. Something like that. No, it's not going to be the case. So, I'm looking forward to this game a lot, right? There doesn't seem to be any clear favorite, other than maybe... Oh my god, look at... I just realized, dude. Look at the resources here in the middle. Smack bang. Imagine sticking a meditation gardens right there. You You're talking about 100 stone a minute and probably 50 gold as well. That is wild. Nice little spot here for the TC though, but I would say if there's a favorite for this game, when it comes to a positional favorite, it would definitely be no one else than Teal. He's looking pretty good. I hope you guys picked up that little reference that we had. So he's definitely looking pretty decent. Age-ups are going to start coming through. Sultanate trade network here for real Toko Raro, who I think I've played. I'm pretty sure I played against this guy. Yeah, I played against this guy. This is, what was it? Tough Life. Tough Life. You guys remember Tough Life? That was a good game. That was a good game. I enjoyed that game that we had. He's a decent player. He's a decent player. He knows what's up. So we'll keep an eye out on him. And basically, I'm just kind of interested how these guys make it out of the hood. And I think I've already kind of got my answer. That they're taking advantage of water, right? Like when we look at Orange is setting up some sort of tower rush, but it's not really achieving much, right? Like he's not denying anything. Like, yeah, sure, you got a tower down, but you're not killing any vills. You're not doing any damage here. When it comes to wood, I mean, you could definitely be doing damage, right? Like we know that when it comes to wood, there's not a lot of options here for VNS Cool. So if you're able to stop him from collecting wood, you could be in a really good spot. So I would have loved to have seen, you know, maybe a little bit more action related to denying out wood. That would have been very good. Other than that, though, let's check in with Purple and see how Purple is doing. As Purple on the Order of the Dragon, we'll be looking for relics here as well. So we'll have to keep an eye out for him. But when it comes to water, obviously there's this huge pond down towards the south that nobody is even spawned close to. We don't have a single person on this side of the map, with the exception of a scout from no one else. That is it. And these always make for fun games, right? Because if one person does escape to the country, it is going to be a lovely time for them. We are just going to be, you know, we're going to be talking about beautiful windows and have a look at that. Did you see that? He was going to put down the landmark over here, and he's decided against it. He's now instead brought it into the center. And I wonder what the thinking was. Was it maybe just too close to the water? And he was fearful, you know, I don't want to get sniped from the water. You know, what if? What if? And I think that's a really smart thought. All right, our first player is up. It's going to be Toko Raro, who is up. No one else going to follow him up quickly with the Golden Gate. So not looking for the Kremlin here early on. How does he look to play it? Let's check in with these guys. So let's ride on board here with Toko Raro. So at this stage of the game, it looks like he's probably just going to be focusing on a little bit of everything. So I'm thinking probably feudal normally is what you can expect when you see like an Ottoman player like this. They're thinking, I'm going to get my upgrades. I'm going to maybe put a bit of pressure on. And to be honest, in this situation, like if we have a look at his perspective, so he knows about yellow. He knows about blue. I would say the best thing to do is go for 2 town centers and play defensive, go castle, get your mangoes, just kind of chill, right? Like that, I'd say that's the best bet. The problem that he's got is even if he chills here, it's only a matter of time until Teal decides, hey, I got to attack somebody, and Red's kind of looking a little bit juicy. Now, speaking of Teal, let's have a look. Oh, Teal's found out all of that water. Teal is going to be our first player down here. He's going to have water all to himself. He'll feel very, very comfortable. It's a little bit late getting there. And honestly, when you're this late to the party, I feel like you got to go for a big boy boat boom, which is where you just throw every single villager. Now that you're in feudal age, throw every single villager over onto wood and just drop down like 5 or 6 docks and just go ham, dude. Go absolutely crazy. A lot of sheep coming in as well. I'm curious what he kind of looks to do, but we already get the answer. It's going to be early nights coming out. Age-ups continue to come through. That's going to be the Holy Roman Empire player over on this east side. We'll ride on board with him as we watch as the Archon Chapel is now online. Big focus is going to be on water. He's going to be looking to deny it off his Order of the Dragon opponent who is out here. One other thing to note is he has done some scouting. He knows roughly where Gandalf the White is. He knows that he's on water and that they are sharing the same pond. Need to be careful here. Looks like Textile's not quite yet through. He's also got another wood line up here. I would recommend coming up here and then just throwing down an outpost. He's going to bust it though. He says, you know what? There's only 4 vills inside there. I reckon we can take it. Instead, we do see a little bit of action early on here. So he's going to try and break this. He will be able to find success here. You can see the prelate being pulled means he shouldn't lose too many villagers. I think that's going to be the first one, maybe the second one that's gone down. And now these villagers able to deny the outpost. Just kind of left scrambling. He's going to throw down the outpost himself, look to defend. And the age-ups continue coming through. We'll ride on board with Gandalf and see how he's doing as he continues to expand on the water. It's going to be a second dock that he throws down here. Not really looking to get himself that wet at this stage. Blue also going to be throwing down a dock on the water as well. And Castle Age going to be the way that he looks to approach this. We see Preservation of Knowledge coming through. He's gone for the Culture Wing. No real surprise there. Very good when you're on the water. So Preservation of Knowledge will come through. He'll be able to then click into maybe Military Wing. Probably the best bet here. Oh, you could go Eco Wing as well. That's absolutely fine. Though this is a lot of water. The only problem is you're sharing the water, right? Like that's the only issue. Looks like we've got ourselves still quite a bit of trouble down on this south side. Let's check in and see how Red's doing. Once again, he's minding his own business. No real action yet. In fact, is he thinking about going Castle Age? He could be looking to go Castle Age. No, he's not. He could be going second TC, actually. Speaking of second TC, let's have a look and see how Blue is doing. So we know that Blue is going to be looking to go into the Silver Tree. So there is trade towards the middle, if I remember correctly. Oh, I don't remember correctly. I remember incorrectly. There's no trade on this map. There are docks, though. And if you can, if you can take someone out and then leave their dock, then that's always an opportunity for you. But other than that, no real way for him out of that. So yeah, curious to see how he plays it. It looks like he's kind of thinking about going. Wow. Now I'm pretty sure you can get through here with vessels or with boats. So that's something to keep an eye out for. But Blue's going for a big boy boat boom. I support this. Five docks is definitely, that's what you should be doing when you find the water. Oh my God, we've already got a surrender coming through. It looks like it's just been from the pressure that has been put out on from VNS Cool, right? Like VNS Cool has just dealt quite a decent amount of pressure out here. And then instead of fighting back, Purple has just said, you know what? We're just going to leave. We'll go next. GG, go next. That sort of thing. And have a look at this. A little bit slow with it. Orange decided to go for a double dock down here, but there's no deep sea fish, which means he's only going to be on the shore fish. That is a surefire way to make sure that you're make sure I'm trying to use shore as much as possible to make sure that your game is going to be the shortest game possible. But let's take a look on this north side. Age Up about to come through. It's going to be the military wing in here, and we do see the racks coming up, so expect to see some Gulams coming through here for Gandalf. Now, where is Gandalf's gold? Gandalf's got gold right here on the edge. So if I'm Gandalf right now, which I'm not, but if I was, I would just be putting down a whole bunch of production and just spamming out Gulams, going absolutely ham with them. I like that a lot. I think Abbasid, Ayyubid combo together, really, really nice in 2v2s, but also for FFAs, kind of a legit civ. I like this a lot. He spots out the kings, and he sees everybody on his side of the map, and he goes, oh my lord. Okay, we're in for a little bit of a party. Indeed, we are, Gandalf. Let's see exactly how you handle this one. Second rack's coming up now. Going to be throwing down a third racks as well. Needs a little bit of housing space. Not looking to relics at the moment. Let's check in with VNS Cool and see how he's doing, as he is defending up against Teal right now. Of all people, Teal's decided, I'm going to attack VNS Cool because he's kind of cool. And he's going to go for the Burgrave. Yo, my burger boy is absolutely out here cooking today. Have a look at this. So I'm assuming with the Burgrave, like the goal is simple, right? He wants to get kills. Now he's already picked up one kill. And the issue that he's going to have is that by getting lots of kills, he may become a target very quickly. So people are going to be saying, okay, like normally at higher level games in which there are two high level players, so they probably both do it. They will say like one kill Teal, one kill Pink, one kill Teal, one kill Pink. And so when the second kill inevitably comes, which it will, probably I will give it 15. I'll say by 15 minutes he's dead. That's what I'm going to go with. By 15 minutes, Orange will be dead. Let's see how accurate. Oh, he's. Hold on, Drongo. Hold on, don't count your chickens just yet, my friend. I know that you like chicken, but don't get ahead of yourself here. He could be looking to migrate, and you probably want to migrate sooner rather than later. But I guess it's also about scouting the Burgrave. If you don't scout the Burgrave, it can be very tough. But I do like this. He's almost saying, like, I'm not going to rely on picking up relics, which is a smart move, right? In his position here, he's in the corner of the map. You don't have to play around relics. Obviously, it makes sense if you can. If you do, it's great to have. Now, can I just say for the record, Mr. Tokararo, these walls are a little bit big, a little bit too big. You want to try and keep them in much shorter than that. You're going to have a hard time defending this wall when it's so close to your enemy's base. But undoubtedly, we can expect to see action on this north side shortly. I gave him until 15 minutes. The king is out. It will all depend now on whether VNS Cool is actually going to be spotting this one out. Needs to try and use that king ability. Well, he needs to not try and use it, but needs to use that king ability. He's got the upgrades coming through as well. We can see him go for heavy maces. He's already picked up the two-handed axe. And now he's going to start picking up relics. So we've got the first one that's in. And he's going to start making a move. He sees the king. He sees the king just standing there. I gave him 15 minutes. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to... Hold your horses. Here we go. No way. Oh, my... Give him a second or two. Oh, no. 2 seconds, dude. I was close. Hey, come on. You got to give that one to me. I was pretty close. You know what? Don't give it to me. You know, all right. 18 minutes. There you go. There you go. 18 minutes. He's going to go for Teal next. He's picked up 2 kills now. You got to be calling this out, right? Like, you can't be leaving this guy to do the dirty work of everybody here. And naturally, Gandalf is going to be looking for it as well. Immediately says, you know what? If he's out here taking names, we need to be out taking names as well. Starts working down that town center, and you can see the power of these guys. They don't mess around when it comes to this. They know how to play FFA, and the answer seems to be in men-at-arms, right? Like, what is the common thing that we're seeing here? The common theme, it's gulams, it's men-at-arms, it's those unique, or just that ability to run into a person's base and just knock them out. That's pretty much it here. They don't mess around. 5 racks is back here, just pumping out non-stop. A lot of gulams in here. The main thing you're going to be careful about right now from the perspective of Gandalf is kings being donated to other people. Because at this stage, right, if this king goes over to red, you are so sad. You are so sad. Because now all of a sudden, that 50 pop has gone forever, and if someone else takes out red, then you've got nothing that you can really do. So you really need to make sure that you take that king out. So you want to try and block those exits as much as you possibly can. You want to make sure there's nowhere that they can really run. Now, what do we call 18 minutes here for Teal? That's my money. That's my guess. The other thing to note is he can always pick up relics from Teal as well. We'll continue watching. Crossbows are starting to come out here for him. Battering Ram's going to be joining the party here. He realizes, you know what? I might need a little bit of assistance here. Water. It looks like we do have some Hulks making their way through. He wants to start to interrupt all of these enjoyers out over here. Imperial Age going to be coming through as well shortly. So instead of going, so he's managed to pick up 1 kill. Is that his first kill? I think that's his first kill, right? No, it's his second kill because he got this guy as well. So he's picked up 2 kills now, but he's bought himself space, right? With the Burgrave. With the Burgrave, he's found space. And so now he can, now that he's got space, he can probably just go Swabia here, right? Like, you could go Elsbach. Elsbach's amazing, but it definitely feels like the Swabia kind of game. In fact, he's got a lot of fishing boats. Maybe he can just go for Elsbach. Like, Elsbach into what? Like 2 TCs, maybe? Could be the play. All right, so he's working it down slowly. We gave him 18 minutes. It looks like Teal is probably going to make it a little bit longer than 18 minutes. But I'm confident that... These two are very aggressive, that is for sure. I'm impressed with the aggression that we're seeing here. All right, down towards the south, the age up comes through. It's going to be the Palace of Swabia. No, I mean, I say no surprise, and oh, this is what I was talking about. This is what I was talking about. If he puts Vils inside the TC, there's the king. The king, he's going to try. It looks like he's doing a little bit of a run. Vils going to be able to block, not able to find it. He's trying to donate it. If red can spot this one out, he's not going to be able to do it. The king, unfortunately, goes down, and yellow picks up the extra population. And with that, immediately, we see pink going, okay, who was that? Who's left? Okay, there's still a lot of people. They're all pretty close together. We need to start thinking it outside the square a little bit, outside the box. Now, the age ups come through here as well for VNS Cool. So he should be looking for elite upgrades here. We do see Tithe Barnes is already through, but he's only got 2 relics, so feels like a little bit of a waste to me this early on. Definitely something worthwhile going for a little bit later. In the middle of the map, Spasskaya Tower is in, so should probably be thinking about maybe moving into Bombards as a way to deal with that, and he will know that Spasskaya Tower is in, because you can see that. Other thing to note, how many Sacred Sites have we got? Don't tell me there's 1 Sacred Site. Don't tell me there's 1 Sacred Site. Hold your horses. Hold on. There's 1 Sacred... Oh my god, there's 1 Sacred Site. I mean, that's a surefire way to end your game quickly, though, is go take that Sacred Site in the lobby with 2 of the best players in the world. They're going to know what's up. Men-at-Arms still yet to get that elite upgrade. A little bit of a mistake here from VNS Cool, if I'm honest. I feel like Tithe Barnes a bit overrated in this regard, and definitely picking up that earlier elite upgrade could have been a good thing. But meanwhile, on the north side of the map, let's not forget about Gandalf, who is slowly making others turn grey around him. Undoubtedly a lot of stress. I tell you what, you know, I was talking recently about my hair as the king is about to go down. People were asking, or someone asked me like, oh, when did you notice that you're starting to go grey? And I was like, oh, the moment I had kids. Oh yeah, that's right, it was my doctor. Yeah, it was like the moment I had kids, like that was probably the most stressful time of my life. Now that I think about it, very smart, very, very smart. He's surrendered, but he's not taking the king kill. Very, very smart. Very smart. Super duper smart. Love that kind of intelligence about people. All right. Yeah, Yes. Why would that be smart? The idea is that you don't want to show somebody that you've got that population ready to go, right? Like, you want to kind of hide your strength. And by doing that, then there's this argument that you could make where if you don't take that kill, you could then say to Teal, like, I've only got 1 kill, like, we need to work together to try and take out Pink. But the reality is, like, you got 3 big boys that are left here. We got 1 kill on Teal, one kill on Teal, 1 kill on Teal, 2 kills on Pink, 2 kills on Yellow. Every single kill in this game has gone to these 3 players. And now we've got ourselves a little bit of a match. The only problem is Teal finds himself in the middle. He didn't opt to move away. He definitely could have. He knew he had space. He found plenty of space behind his base. But he decided, you know what? I'm just going to stay. I'm just going to chill. He put the Spaskaya next to the sacred site, which I respect. But still, it kind of blows my mind. Like, I just would have just gently moved away. Like, you know what? I'm just going to go down this way. Let the 2 behemoths, let the 2 juggernauts fight against each other. Now, the question's going to be, who gets the kill on Teal? Because if VNS Cool manages to somehow do it, that's not a good situation for Gandalf. Gandalf wants to try his best to get this kill. Let's take a look and see what populations are looking like. Have a look at this. 151 going to Imp. 142 already in Imp. Villager count 113 compared to Gandalf 89. Pretty similar villager count. He's on 3 TC as well. We do see that the main town center is still producing villagers, so it's equivalent to 4 TCs that he's got down here, VNS Cool. And he is just pumping units. Looks like it's going to be Spear, Elite Crossbow. Spears have now got their Elite upgrades through. Let's take a look and see what no one else is currently rocking. 92 Vils, not bad at all. But I am a little bit scared for him. A little bit scared. He is playing the Roost, though. Definitely a strong civ when it comes to this kind of gameplay. But I feel like he might be picking in the middle. Now, what's interesting is that both Yellow and Pink are on this water to the north. But we don't see a whole lot of shenanigans going on here. These guys, in fact, it's kind of wild, right? Like, you would think that coming into this, they would be looking to try and force the other player off it, but maybe they both just kind of realize that it's best that we just wiggle. And if we don't have fishing boats, we can't wiggle. And we need to wiggle. Speaking of wiggles, my son, oh my god, man. He just found, we showed him the Wiggles. If you know the Wiggles, you probably know the Wiggles if you got kids. Or if you don't have kids and you just grew up in the 90s and you're Australian, you probably know who the Wiggles are. Anyway, they were doing, I think, the Hokey Pokey. Oh my god, man. I've never seen my son lose his shit so much when he was watching the Hokey Pokey. Wow. That little guy loves the Hokey Pokey. His favorite part is when they say, whoa, the Hokey Pokey. He was just like, ah! He was going crazy. He loved it. Anyway, Hokey Pokey's fun. That's why we're talking about the Wiggles. Anyway. Let's check in on the north and see what's going on. So both of these guys have got a lot of pop, and they're doing what you should probably do when you have a lot of pop space, right? You chill. You just buy time. You just want to kind of chill out, fall back. What are we looking at here with regard to military? Just a whole bunch of gulams. So he's got 42 out at the moment, but this is perfect, right? Like, even at the moment, sitting on 300 pop space, like, this is still decent. You want to try and get that last kill, that 350 pop space, especially when you know that somebody else in the lobby's got 300 pop space. So, you know, every little bit counts, but 300 is still definitely manageable. The other thing to note is Sacred Site. That could become a big factor in this game between these 2 guys. So we'll have to keep an eye out on this. And have a look at this. He's only just scouting now across the map. You want to know why this is? He's just looking for resources. He's like, okay, where's my stone at? Where's my gold at? I want to get out here. I want to start taking more resources. So that's why he's sending out the scouts. So very well played by him to actually go ahead and do that. All right, well, 2 landmarks. And does VNS Cool know about this? I'm pretty sure he would know. Oh, this one came down a little bit late. I don't know if he knows about this, but if you know the location of landmarks, like, to me, this is just asking for a drop. Like, later on in the game, 16 bombards here, boom, boom. Very, very quick defeat. But speaking of quick defeats, have a look at this. There is no time for quick defeats as Teal slowly walls up around the bases, or the edge of his base. Townsend are going to be coming down here for VNS. Cool, mate. You've already got an Elsbach. Oh, sorry, a Swabia. Why are you going for a TC here? What's the play? 150 Vils already? I don't understand the TC. Is he just looking to get emergency repairs down here? In which case, why don't you just extend it? Why the TC? Or is he just going big TC mode? Maybe he's just looking to go to like 250 Vils or something like that. I've seen it before, but I didn't think it was possible. I've actually seen a lot of people in FFA do that. It was a Divine that was the first one. I think it was in Outback Octagon. We saw him do like 200 vils. He was just sitting in the corner with 200 vils. He made it to 100,000 food. And then he was like, okay. And then just deleted all the vils and just started making units. Like, you can make 1,000 men-at-arms with 100,000 food. That's kind of wild, dude. But 1,000 men-at-arms, it seems like a lot, and it is a lot, but it's not that much. In the scheme of FFAs, especially like those big, long, drawn-out games. Like, it's really not that much. So what are we throwing away here? A couple of spears? It looks like spears, so it looks like he's just getting rid of the stuff he don't need. And that kind of makes sense, right? He's on 250 pop, if I remember correctly. Let's check in with Teal. So Teal's maxed at 250. Well, not maxed at 250, but he's got 250 pop, but he's only sitting on 170 at the moment. I'd love to see a little bit more production. How much production are we rocking at the moment? 8 archery ranges, 4 axes. Definitely not enough. You should be looking at, like, mid-20s at this stage of the game. Let's check in with Gandalf as well. Gandalf. His Arabic cousin. This is Gandalf. Gandalf. He's doing all right. He's 136 vils. 95 military pop. Looking to continue expanding out. We see those villagers moving to the other side of the map. But obviously, he can't really look at migrating. He's going to start cleaning up these walls as well. Definitely the right call. And now gets spotted out. Logic Galley. Not going to be able to do too much work there. It does defend. He's just got the patrol route set along the coast to make sure no one comes through. And for the moment, they're just kind of ignoring water. Now, does Gandalf know about the water of his opponent? And the answer is yes. He's got direct line of sight. The scout actually spots it. And he does also see villagers moving across here. There is a gold. In fact, there's 2 golds over here. Hello. Not too bad at all. Might even start thinking about throwing up some walls over here. What's interesting to me, though, is neither of these players, despite being very, very good at the game, are walling. They're not interested in throwing up walls. They're just kind of like, you know what? Like, if it comes, we will fight it. They're not walling. Which is absolutely wild to me. Because for me, like, the #1 rule of FFA is, like, apart from, like, keep the king alive, is wall. That's probably, like, 1.1. It's like, you should always keep your king alive. Not wall, segment 1.1. Build walls. Build walls. Walls are good. Anyway, let's keep on moving forward here because we got ourselves a little bit of a 3-way tie. It can always get really hard in these sorts of situations because everyone's trying to convince each other that they're not the threat and that you need to attack somebody else. And this is where I really wish we had access to the chat in game. It would make my life easier. It would make my life better, right? Like I feel like the quality of our cast would be significantly greater. It would probably make your life better as well. I mean, it's not going to give you money, but it's definitely going to entertain you a little bit more. Maybe we get to see some absolute hilarious banter in the chat. That's what life's all about, right? It's about banter. And we miss out on a lot of that. I'd love to see that. So who knows? Maybe one day we'll get to see it. Brings a tear to my eye. Anyway, we move on. We move forward. And we hold out for a hero. Somebody to break the stalemate. 28 minutes into this game. I think the most important thing at this time is exactly what they're doing, and it's just chilling, right? Like, this is the best thing that you can do. You just want to bide your time. You want to wait for the other players to attack each other, but most importantly, you just want to build your own resources up here. This is important. I think getting down production, adding in more vils, and it's kind of wild that he's not adding in more vils. I feel like he definitely should. Like, you should be maxing out on vils right now, even if you have to delete them later. Like, a vil pays itself off so damn quickly, it's just a little bit silly not to be. Let's check with VNS Cool, though, and see how he's doing. He's 284. 180 vils, definitely a smooth operator, that is for sure. Big bombard numbers starting to build here, and this is the worst thing that can happen for VNS Cool right now is a fight with him and Teal, because all he wants to do is he just kind of wants to chill. He wants to get max pop, throw down lots and lots of production, and then he wants to fight. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's kind of close to it. Not a whole lot of military. He's 101 population at the moment. Culverin numbers kind of insane. He's got 6 Culves on the back here. Looking to try and pick them off. We'll be able to find Bombard after Bombard. More Culves coming up the hill, looking for a roll. We'll be able to find it. Speaking of roll or shutter triggers is through for our Springolds. But unfortunately, outnumbered completely. Men-at-Arms able to overwhelm here. Crossbows on the back. Don't have their upgrades through just yet. Hasn't swapped them out for Streltsy. A little bit interesting. And now, 29 minutes into this game, the push looks to come through. Let's check in with Gandalf, though, and see what he knows. Because at the moment, Gandalf is just kind of chilling out. He will definitely hear the bombards, right? Like, you hear bombards across the map. He's got good scouting vision that's going on, but he doesn't actually see what's happening. Doesn't look like he's doing a king check either. And for all he knows, there could be trouble in the base of Teal. Especially right now, if he picks up this king kill. This could be massive. And this is part of the reason why it's so dangerous just even leaving your enemies to fight without knowing what's going on. Because you just know that he wants to be in here. I mean, I say he wants to be in here. This isn't a man who wants to be in here. This is a man who's just chilling out right now. He's biding his time. And now beginning to push through. Spasskaya Tower becomes the target. You can see that VNS Cool has somehow made it through the fire and the flames. And now he wishes to carry on. Focus. Spasskaya Tower takes the first shot of the bombard. Kalb's moving forward as well. A couple knights at the back. No upgrades through. No Boyar's Fortitude just yet. No biology. I expected more. I expected more from you, no one else. There's no one else I expected more from than no one else. Let's check and see if we've got any movement coming out. It's going to be stone walls that are coming up, so it looks like preparation is beginning for some sort of defense from Gandalf. Definitely don't think he's thinking about wonders. We can say that much. It's very prohibitive to go for the wonder. Slowly and steadily, the Spasskaya is going to be going down here. Remember, it does have 10,000 health on it, so it's definitely going to be a grind. You want to really hit this bombard, though. I'd even get these vills out right now and just try and take out this bombard. This is the one that's doing the damage. What's the eco situation right now for no one else? 101 vills? I don't know where they are, but he's... Oh, that's where they all are. He's got 26 up here. Doing a little bit of a long distance run. 233 gold on the high trade house. Starts dropping in, and that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. And then there were two. 50 population goes over to VNS Cool. All of the Lodya fishing boats go down. And now the final battle begins. From the very beginning, we identified that there were two very good FFA players in this game. And to nobody's surprise, they have made it through to the very end. They are the last remaining two. And throughout this game, they have picked up some kills. See the relics now coming through. And they've done an incredible job with how they've played it out. And now, from here, we get to witness in all of its glory, two of the best FFA players. Why do I keep saying FFA? Two FFA players. Two FFA players. Two of the best FFA players. Oh my god, I said it again. What's wrong with me? I've got like a list, but for the word A, it's like, I'm becoming Canadian. Anyway, two of the world's best FFA players facing off against each other in what I suspect is going to be an incredible fight. Both have got access to Culverin, so no one's going to have siege superiority. It's just going to be incredible. The only difference is one of them's got 50 more pop than the other, which can be mitigated on the side of the Abbasid by just having 50 less vills. But then it's one of those things where it's like you're going to be really ground out. So I think this is definitely going to come down to skill, even though the population difference is significant, being 50 difference. It's not that significant in that you've got 300 versus 350. This is 100% winnable from Gandalf's position. And in fact, I would say like the odds of winning right now are like, or actually now that you mention it, taking the sacred site, I'd say like 60-40. 60-40 in favor of pink winning here. VNS Cool. We'll be looking pretty good here. But now the push is starting to come to shove. So he's max 350, 171 military population. Pretty decent amount of bank built up here as well. Let's take a look and see from Gandalf's perspective. He's max 300. A lot of resources in the bank. Could look to delete vills. 133 military pop here. So 133 military pop versus 170. So about 40 difference at the moment. So pretty significant difference between these two. Reinforcements coming through. Where does he look to go and how does he look to attack into it? Sacred Site now taken. We're going to enjoy the neutralize the Sacred Site objective on our screen, but Gulams up against Men-at-Arms. Remember that these Gulams, they've got a lot of health on them, but the Men-at-Arms have got a lot of damage. A couple of hand cannoneers on the back as well, looking to help out. Kalb's firing. Decent micro coming through. The siege advantage definitely sitting with VNS Cool at the moment on the color pink. You can see the Kalb's moving up, able to take off shots. Beautiful. Trading out shots against each other. These guys know what is up. Very talented players, both of them. Yeah, but both of these guys are just incredible. Obviously, rank 2, rank 3. Very, very good at Age of Empires. But it looks like at the moment it's going to be VNS Cool that does pull ahead early on in this 1v1 situation. You wanted a 1v1 casted game? Well, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, the Sacred Site, it looks like he's trying his best just to neutralize it nice and easily. Wants to forget about it. Doesn't want to even think, oh, you know, I got to deal with that darn Sacred Site. But unfortunately, not going to be able to hold it. More upgrades gonna keep coming in. And already, VNS Cool is looking strong here. Oh, get out of the cinematic mode. We want to check in with our boy Gandalf. Now, interesting to note, there's no units in production. Okay, there we go. I was going to say, what's going on here? No units in production. Not a whole lot of production back here. How much production have we got? Ooh. I'm going to be honest. Gandalf, that's not a lot of production. And you're rank 2. Rank 2, rank 3, somewhere around that. In FFAs. I'm bewildered. What's the game plan here? How do you go about defeating the Sacred Site? That's the part that I don't get, right? Like, if there's anything that's going to be difficult this game for Gandalf in this position, it's going to be denying or neutralizing the Sacred Site. Because realistically, all that VNS Cool needs to do, stonewall here, and then pull in like a nice little stonewall around the bottom of the Sacred Site, and then just park his army on top of it. And he'll just win. That's how it works. That's how it works. Now, I think it's really important that these walls come up, though. You really want to go for that. And we do now start to see walls coming up on top of this little cliff face. A lot of vills. Gosh, look how far up we are. I feel like I'm using some sort of map hack. I was trying to think of another word for it, but I was just like, I can't. Map hack. There we go. I said it. I said the H word. The word that should never be spoken. All right, so he's going to look to rebuild here. So how does he go about taking this one? I feel like when it comes to these big late game fights, siege is king. And it looks like Gandalf is feeling the same way. He spots out the king. He says, okay, I know where your king is. Your king's in the keep. Could we potentially look at going for a king snipe? And I would say that's probably a decent option. There are 3 keeps here. Each keep has got a relic in it, but none of the keeps have got cannon emplacements. I don't know whether he picked that up, whether you have a look here. I mean, you see the relic inside, you see the king, and you're like, The king can also run. That's another thing to note. King can also run down to this town center, can run down to this town center, can then run across to Swabia. You could be chasing it around for a while, especially if you're only running like a largely infantry comp. There are camels here though, camel archers. Fair bit of damage on these bad boys as well. Doesn't look like he's picked up the university upgrades just yet. Let's have a look and see. Yeah, so still no incendiary arrows, still no biology, even though he can afford it, and still no court architects either. Definitely should be looking to get those upgrades. But he's played a patient game. He's played it well so far. And now another keep comes through. So I feel like the biggest mistake that VNS Cool is making here is not walling this Sacred Site. Like, it should just be walled, right? Like, just an interior wall. Otherwise, it's too easy to deny. If one unit gets through, I mean, obviously you've got like a keep and you've got, well, you don't have cannon emplacements, but you got a keep. Like, let's say 15 horsemen get through. You could lose that Sacred Site. Good bit of siege. I don't know if they're facing the right way necessarily, though. Big delete coming through. It sounded like it could have been buildings that went down, though we do hear a whole bunch of units that were being produced. So I think he's just looking to get even more units out on the field. Up to 157 at the moment. Let's compare that to his opponent, 174. So we've got ourselves a very fair fight, or very close to fair fight here. He's going to try and clear out a little bit of space here with these palisade walls, get rid of them. Definitely the right thing to do. Outpost's going to start coming up as well. We'll check in with VNS Cool and see what he sees. He sees Vills on the top side. No one's really making a play here. I don't think you could definitely make a play off water. VNS Cool could definitely make a play off water, though. Like, this is so obvious to me. This is so blatantly obvious to me. And maybe it's obvious to him, but maybe he also thinks, you know what, I don't need to. Like, I can just win with the Sacred Site. I don't need to go for something risky. Even though it would look cool on the highlight reel, it might not necessarily work for me. And it might risk, you know, the integrity of my base or something like that. But now looking to bring this around, firing off through the trees here. He's got a beautiful little spot. Something that I often neglect to remember is that you can fire through the trees. But now we're going to have ourselves a bit of a battle. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We're here at, what, the 36th minute, 38th minute, somewhere around that. And, oh, my lord, these are starting to hit a little bit hard. Cannons on the backside. Mangoes into the grinder. Colb's trying to fire off. He's got beautiful micro coming through. He's just focused on the Mangoes. Big shots on the back. Hand cannoneers all going to be going the way of the Dodo as he manages to take out most of the Mangoes, but the Culverin are still alive. They still look to thrive. Bombard here as well. And decent damage that comes out in the end, and you can really start to feel that it looks like the grind is definitely going in favor. Nice. Just as I was about to say that, I was going to say it's in favor of Gandalf, but it feels like VNS Cool is going to start making a push, and now we enter that question. How does he still neutralize the sacred site? We don't know what the timer is at the moment, but I would think we're probably closing in on maybe like 5 minutes remaining, maybe 4 minutes remaining. So who knows? I'm gonna try for it. What are we? 41 minutes, 3 minutes remaining. Yeah, I'll go with that. Maybe not. You know what? Maybe I'm counting a little bit too early. Maybe it's still on like 5 minutes. But if only there was a way that we could know. You know. But the good news is we know that there's one sacred site, and we do know that it has been captured. So I'm glad that we can enjoy that together. All right, well, the siege continues to rebuild. Immediately, we do see VNS Cool is remaxed, which is a really important thing when you're doing in the late game. You want to try and remax as quickly as possible. So you can see he's got lots of production here, 22 barracks, 10 archery ranges, and 5 siege workshops. So you want to have these guys building or having units in queue ready to go. You can see he's going to add in more keeps now as well, looking to try and defend this position. Exactly 800 stone left on the stone outcropping as well, so he could even look to make it even more. But beautiful little spot he's got in here. I've got absolutely no idea how Gandalf goes about stopping this. What happened to this keep? Did he cancel the keep? Oh, yeah, it canceled the keep and now put a town center down so he can get emergency repairs. There we go, 3 minutes. I was pretty close, dude. Look at that. I said 1 minute until 3 minutes, or like I said 4 minutes at 40 minutes. There you go. Drongo's internal clock, kind of good. You know when you wake up like 3 seconds before your alarm goes off and you're like, ha, beat ya. Like, it's that kind of thing, right? Everybody's got that, right? It's not just me. Surely. Anyway, things not looking good. Gandalf, I'm sorry, brother. This could be it. I mean, the writing is definitely on the wall. It says, Gandalf, you need to attack the sacred site now. This is going to be the 3rd attack that he's attacking with. This time it's a little bit different. He's got 10 culverin, a lot of bombards, a lot of mangoes. Can we take a look at his military pop? Yeah, he's deleted vills. He's deleted vills. So he says, you know what? We're going to need to delete villages if we want to take this sacred site. And that's a smart move. So how does he look to progress from here? I guess he continues. I don't know if attacking into this choke is the best idea, though. That's 2 minutes until sacred defeat. Jeez Louise, he's got to get a move on Gandalf. I know that they say that you shall not pass, but perhaps this time you should reconsider. Keep comes down over on the gold here. 2.5k to fight over. They're looking to try and make life hard for each other. Gandalf's going to have to retreat off that backside, and we can see plenty more units in here. He's got to be careful. There's a lot of siege here. It's not in the best position. A little bit open. He's going to try and come through on the top side. Enter into the cinematic mode as the culverin move forward. Get obliterated in an instant. Siege on the back. He's going to keep funneling in those reinforcements. He's holding onto the sacred site. Keep in mind, he's got about 2 minutes to go. Maybe a little bit less. And it's going to continue ticking. Hand cannoneers on the back, teeing off. Huge army coming through from Gandalf. He knows that this is his moment to shine. If he loses this battle, then that is it. He's fighting into the enemy production. Units continue to rally in to support the existing fight that is happening. Cannons on the backside together with the mangoes. Calves in the plenty. Men-at-arms looking to come around the corner for a little bit of a flank. And that's 1 minute until sacred defeat. He's holding out right now for a hero. Needs to push towards that central sacred site. There's Gulams here. Has anybody gone through to the sacred site? I think this is it. I don't think there's any way he possibly does it. How does he possibly pull it back from here? I mean, the numbers are decent. If he just walks it in from here, he should be able to make it in time. The numbers are good. Gulams now making their way towards the sacred site. First one gets his eyes on it, goes down. There are more heading in that direction. We've got no idea how long it's got left on it. I would think at this point probably about 30 seconds. He's leaving it very, very close. Cannon emplacements now going to be coming through. A little bit of fortifications as well. And he gets his foot on it. The sacred site is held. He is holding it. More units coming through. Men-at-arms looking to get back here and do a bit of reinforcing. He needs to just run them around for the moment. Men-at-arms going to continue holding. And you remember what I said? Do you remember what I said? The most important thing here is just an interior wall. Because it means that if you need siege to kill that. And if you can't get that siege through, then you can't get on that site. That's why it's so important. And now, it looks like he may have actually done it. Gandalf, somehow, some way, says, you shall not pass a sacred site victory today, my friend. Or at least if you do, it's going to be a little bit later than what you would hope for. Slowly and steadily, more units march their way through. The siege is getting picked off. And you can see those reinforcements coming in from the north. He's starting to run dry. 98 villages. Still pumping out non-stop resources. The men-at-arm number looking a little bit healthier, a little bit better. Cannon emplacements now firing down upon it as well, but look at the amount of units he's got. He's not done just yet. He needs to get on this sacred site. You can see him attack moving onto the men-at-arms, but unfortunately, as long as he's standing on it, he should be fine. There we go. He's holding it down. Only a couple of bombards in here, not a huge amount. Cannon emplacements firing off. Where are the reinforcements? They're coming in from behind. He's got Calves in here as well. Needs to hit the bombards, though. There's a lot of units in here. I think there's too many units. I think he's done it. I think he's managed to do it. VNS Cool is going to be losing this sacred site. But just keep in mind, this isn't the only way that you can win the game. And now neutralizing the sacred site, I think he's done it. Random relic in here as well. Able to pick off a couple of these cannons or these bombards. Still working towards it. Sacred site, half health or half percentage, 50%. There you go. Drongo working it out. Let's check in with VNS Cool. Oh my god, he's completely out of gas. Look at this. He's down to 250 food. He is both of these guys are going head to head. The two juggernauts right now of FFA. Two of the best FFA players in the world. Even the villagers are getting involved. A little bit too scared. The Calves now pulling out. The sacred site has been lost. And VNS Cool says, that is not cool. That is anything but cool. That is anything but VNS Cool right now. And indeed, that is Gandalf the White. You shall not pass, my friend. Okay. Well, Gandalf, that was a close call, my friend. Where do we go from here? Well, I think we probably want to repopulate some vills. So if we take a look at Gandalf, like he's got 107 vills, 195 pop. Compare that to VNS. VNS is 100 pop up on him at the moment. So he just needs to chill. One other thing to note is he's on 180 vills and he's still making vills. He's got 18 vills in queue at Swabia. That's kind of scary, right? And this is exactly what you want to do, right? Like when it comes to philosophy about how many villages should you have. Often people are like, oh, you don't need more than 100 vills or you don't need more than 110 vills. There are games where players go up to like 160 vills because they have the ability to do that. Anytime you can fill in population space with villages, you should try and do it. And only once you're maxed and you build up like a nice little stack, at that point, then it starts being reasonable to delete villages. It's a little bit different for 1v1, right? Like there are games where you're playing Holy Roman Empire and you go up to 160 vills and you might delete them right as you hit maximum population 200 because you want to get your army in as quickly as you can. And now we see the next sacred attempt is going to be coming through here. VNS Cool has said, you know what? It wasn't cool what you did last time. So I'm going to try and do something differently this time. I'm going to take the sacred site and this time I'm going to bring relics. Still not going to get my cannon emplacements though. Wouldn't want those. So, I think this is exactly what Gandalf wants. He just wants to kind of chill for now. And this is going to buy him time. But maybe do you attack like a different route, maybe? You could try. Like attacking from this angle would be very decent. Because then you're fighting away from your enemy's reinforcements. But at the same time, like yeah, look at this, and he realizes. VNS Cool says, you know what? That's a smart idea, Drongo. We should wall that up so that we're not at risk from that angle. The only problem is you'd have to move your own reinforcement line to that angle. So, you know, I would expect that we'd see lots and lots of production down here. Not going to be the case though. Now, one thing to note is we've got docks, so you could look to trade. I don't think they're going to look to trade just because you've still got so many resources on this map. I say that. I mean, you're talking what? 7.5k gold here. That's really about it. I mean, he's got 7.5k gold in the bank. He's also got quite a few relics. How many relics? I remember that there's 3 in here. So 3 here. 4th one's here. He's got the 5th one in the in this keep. And I don't think there was many more relics than that. I think there was like maybe one other relic. Yeah, there it is. In the mosque. So he's done a good job of, or they've done a good job of like picking this all up. All right, so gonna clear out a little bit of space here, get rid of all the Rus players' base. And now we prepare for round 2. Now, look, can we just do a quick check here, Gandalf? Yeah, he's still having trouble remaxing. Look at this. So, what about... You could go for a landmark snipe. Yeah, and I think he kind of realizes you could go for a landmark snipe. Because you've got to remember all the armies over here. So I think what you want to do is you kind of want to do like a little bit of a fake out. Where you want to like send maybe a bombard or 2 with like a couple of units here. And then you try and drop down here. I think that's the play. You drop down here with like 20 battering rams. And ram. You're going to be up against Vils. The Vils will try and torch you. You're going to bring all of your units, like your whole army. I think that's the only way that you can really go about this, right? Like, you can try and do round 2 here. And keep in mind, we've got Omnivision, right? So we know, like, villager counts and all that kind of stuff. And we know that, okay, there's an opportunity here for a potential, you know, way to win. But this should also be clear to Gandalf, right? Like, he knows where the king is. He knows that the king was in here. He knows where the town center is. He knows that there is a clear way through because he's seen the ships come in. So to him, it shouldn't be that hard to put 2 and 2 together. Let's see if he finds it, though. Because when it comes to finding win conditions, it can be really difficult. You can often see it in, like, after the game, you can be like, okay, here was the win condition. But in the game, it's a lot different. And look at these outposts. These are so nice as well, coming through from VNS Cool. He's got such great vision. He feels really confident. When you've got this much vision, it feels wonderful. You know where all of the enemy movements are. It's like you've got map hacks, right? Like, you just know, oh, okay, you've got units up there. I can send units to go intercept. It's really, really simple. This, to me, is the main angle. It's got to be. This is the only way through. You just take landmarks. And there's nothing here that's, like, really that hard to hit. Yeah. Okay. I'm liking this. So he wants to go after the outpost because the outpost provides line of sight. The trouble is that by doing this, there's a good chance that you will immediately trigger a response, which will be like stone walls along the edge or outposts along the... There's the trait. Or markets along the edge. Let's have a look and see. 137 gold a minute. Not bad. So he spots out all of the army. Now, I think he's still got some decent time on this. I think he's probably still got about 6 to 7 minutes on this sacred site. Maybe not 7, maybe 6 minutes on this sacred site. So if he wanted to go for that drop strat, he definitely could. But I feel like ramming it in again, it's just not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. You deleted Vils last time. You had a very huge amount of siege. Here you have 3 mangoes. Like, it is nowhere near what you had before. Let's check in with Gandalf and see what else he's got cooking up. He's got a lot of production back here. Up to 139 Vils. But when it comes to siege, like, we take a look at the siege. He's on 3 mangoes. That's it. He doesn't have anything more than that. Men at arms coming out. And it definitely feels like, okay, so his intent is 100% to attack the main base by the looks of it. But no rams. No real way to break through walls. It definitely feels like he hasn't been cooking this idea up very well. Is he trying... Maybe... Oh, he could try to be baiting the army out. Okay, I think that was the play. I think he's trying to bait the army out. Get a little bit more of an angle so we can use the camels. Maybe that's the play. There's a fair bit of siege on the back here. You can see them immediately now taking out towards the top side. The mangoes go down immediately. No real response from him. 3 mangoes coming out on the side of VNS Cool. Into the grinder. He gets repelled pretty easily at this stage. Not much else to really theory craft about. Like, to me, this is the only way, but I don't think he's going to find it. I think it's too late, even if you try and find that right now. I mean, you could probably cook something up kind of wild, but... Did he get that outpost? He did get the outpost, and the horsemen are still here. He's going to try and look a little bit of camel damage. Incendiary arrows only coming through now as well. Men at arms pushing forward. Sacred site. Expect to hear that timer any second now. I'm feeling like maybe another 30 seconds. All right, on the backside, horsemen coming through. They do have their biology upgrade. They're going to be tanky. Able to hit one of the culverin, but decent micro means that they stay alive. He's got a good mass towards the front. Kolb's firing off. Plenty of units here. Kolb's going to have to fall back. There's way too many units. Is he deleting Vils? No, he's 146 still. Not quite deleting Vils just yet, but more reinforcements on the way through. Mangoes, lots of mangoes. Have a look at that, 6 mangoes. Feels like I'm at a fresh fruit market. I was going to say fresh food. Fresh fruit market. The numbers are decent. 52 elite camel archers. He's not playing around. He needs to get through to that sacred site. But the question is the route going to be found? I think the answer is almost certainly no. Look at this. He's got production up in the hills, up in the mountains right now. He's going for the ultimate sacred victory. It's been beautifully played up until this point. I can't fault either of them. I'm not surprised that Gandalf didn't find that win con. And it can be hard finding it, right? Like, it's about... So many games I've had the win condition after I've after I've quit or after I've lost, I'm like, you know, I could have gone for this. And there it is, 3 minutes until sacred defeat. Now coming through. To me, it feels like there's no way that you get past this, right? Like, you're at 250 pop at the moment. How do you possibly go about doing this? Like, when you compare that over to VNS Cool, he's max 350. He's going to have reinforcements coming through. We don't know about the trade, but, you know, we know about the trade. Like, it's just not happening, Chief. It's not just happening. Mangoes just sitting by idly. Plenty of horsemen on the south. All the units turn around. And now, all of the camels firing off. 2 juggernauts going toe-to-toe. A sacred side. Look at the Mangoes. Oh, my God. The Mangoes just taking out all the camel archers on the back. Men-at-arms managing to keep it alive. Hand cannoneers firing off. Mangoes. A second. Oh, my God. I just look at the bodies, dude. Let the bodies hit the floor. There's no way he's getting through this. The meat grinder, it is online. It is powered. It has got a nuclear power plant that is powering it. And it is absolutely certain today that your victor is going to be VNS Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this casted game. FFAs are kind of fun. I like them. If you like them, let me know. Make sure you leave a like on the video. And of course, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Jeez, that was a game. That was a game. That is for sure.